Hey, what's going on? This is Kenny with Keller Williams Realty. Just checking in for a weekly video. Um, I was I was just thinking about like the local market here in Atlanta versus some of the other places in the country, um, mainly New York and Los Angeles, Northern California as well, other areas, where they have, much higher prices, double, triple, quadruple, what you would see in Atlanta. Um, I follow a guy um, out in California. I think his name is Jeb Smith or something like that. He's a really smart guy, and it kind of gives us a little perspective of what's going on, like in Southern California. Um, he was talking about like the prices out there and like the market out there. Like the market here is crazy too. It's crazy for buyers, trying to get something accepted and just that whole process, working with buyers and everything like that. He was talking about a $700,000 house. I think he was, trying to put an offer on. Had a buyer that was interested, well qualified, all that stuff. And the offer he put in, if I heard it right, if I remember right, he said it was a $7,000 house. He went up to 800,000, and still lost. So he went $100,000 over the asking price and still lost. Like that's really saying something. And he was talking about how the sellers, when they sell, like in California and like New York, like they're not wanting to stay in that high price area. They might be moving away, and this is nothing new to Atlanta. If you've been in Atlanta, it's kind of a saying here that nobody here is from here. Nobody in Atlanta is from here, and that's not entirely true. There's plenty of people that were born here, raised here, and all of that. But there is a lot of people that come here from other places, and it makes it a cool city and everything like that. Um, but a lot of people do come here, from places where the prices are higher, like in New York or whatever. I would love people to weigh in from New York, LA, different places across the world or wherever. Like, what is the prospect of buying a place? Like, if you're a normal person in New York, um, you just working a job, you got out of school, you're like me, when I was working a job, I was, accounting guy for years. You're an accounting guy, you making 50, 60 grand or whatever, or whatever the going rate is in there, in New York, 80, 100, whatever it is, the wages are more up there. What is your prospect of getting a house out there? Where do you live? What do you do? Um, you hear people, you hear stories of, I was showing a guy that's from Brooklyn just the other day, showing him houses, and he was telling me, how much an apartment, costs up there, and I was just like floored, and he was like, yeah, it's the size of this master bedroom was the size of the whole apartment for what, 1,000 a month or something. And I was like, whoa, like it's crazy. So, that's something that just came to mind because, like, right, we have people that move from the West Coast to Atlanta. Most often it's from maybe New York or some other places that people are coming to Atlanta. Um, you know, maybe some higher cost places. And so what he said that was interesting, I'm gonna kind of get to it, is that he was saying, like, you know, people might move with a whole lot of cash, like saying that in the instance of, you know, you just sold your place for $1 million in Los Angeles. You say you're gonna move to Atlanta, and then you come to Atlanta and it's just like stuff is super cheap to you. You know, you can get a house, two, three, $400,000 nice house, you know, and you may have hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, from the proceeds or whatever, and you're able to go way above asking price, and you still think you're getting a deal, or you know, you're still, you know, coming out way ahead from the cash that you have. And the how does that affect our local market when the cash is coming in and the buyers are coming in, because in those markets it's too expensive to buy, and then they could come to maybe the Atlanta market or other markets and get a deal, pay way more than we're paying, and get a deal, beat the heck out of the local competition. So you got to think like, you know, that's what we may be experiencing, maybe some of that, you know, and it's already competitive enough on its own. But you know, it's funny to kind of think like, man, you know, someone from LA could come and have, you know, $400,000 cash and just blow somebody out of the water, you know, on a $250,000 house or whatever. And you know, as a normal person, you know, you're qualified for a loan. You may have a few dollars. You have enough to play your down payment and your closing costs. Like, how do you compete with that? You know, as a person from Atlanta. Um, and like I said, this is nothing new, but like, you know, the moving from different parts of the country coupled with how competitive it already is, and then you got people coming from other parts of the country that their market is super competitive, but it's a higher price point, and they're coming to a lower price point here with tons of cash, and then you know, it's hard to compete with that. So it's just funny to see, you know, how, you know, things that already kind of exist, like how those patterns, you know, how that plays out and the cause and effect of everything in the current market. So just kind of thinking out loud, and just watching that video and thinking about, you know, giving kind of the perspective here, um, in thinking about, you know, the cause and effect, you know, with different parts of the country. They always say, you know, real estate is local, and you know, but we definitely are affected um, by other places as well. So it's just kind of interesting to think about, you know, how everything is kind of playing out. But that's all I got. Sorry, I shook the table. That's all I got for this week. Tune in every week for you know, new stuff every week. If you got comments, suggestions, definitely leave them for me. And you know, I love your suggestions on whatever you want to see. Definitely continue to check me out. Continue to support. Thanks for everybody that's made it this far, and you know, checking me out. Um, Everybody have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.